in order for you to like manifest the now whatever you imagine, you have to work by the spirit. Working by the spirit, it means that you cannot work by what you see, you cannot work by what you feel, you cannot work by what you hear, because those things we see, we feel, and we hear are limitations, because sometimes the numbers don't add up. Maybe you need a lot of cash, and when you look at your bank account, it says zero. So if you work by what you're seeing in that you're in your account, it will limit you to what you want to achieve. But if you work by the spirit, by what you don't see, you will be able to go so far, because you'll be believing that, you know what, I need this and this amount, I'm gonna get it. Hey all lovelies, welcome back to my Kunda Mitsagalioni and we're back again with a new video. Thank you for tuning in. For those who are new here, you're welcome, and for those who are always here, thank you so much for the support and the love. And kindly don't forget to like this video, to share and to comment, and also to subscribe. For those people who are watching the videos and have yet to subscribe, kindly today, please subscribe to this channel to get 200 subs. And today I want to give a shout out to a few people, my cousins, for those who've been coming and supporting me. Thank you so much. And those friends, those close friends who've been here since day one, thank you so much for the love and for the support. Even for those people, when I texted and I'm like, kindly come and subscribe to my channel, and you did, just know I appreciate you so much. For today's video, I'm gonna be talking about imagination. I know that's not a new word, it's a familiar word, and today I want to give some insights into what imagination is and how to apply it in your life. So stay tuned for the whole video, and usikose ku like hii video, usikose. So what is imagination? Imagination is the act of foreseeing things that are yet to happen. When you're imagining something, it's something that has not yet happened, but it's something that is yet to happen in the near future. And imagination is the act of creation. Like when you imagine something, it's like you're creating it in the spiritual realm, and it's yet to manifest in your physical realm. So imagination is something that's so powerful, because when you imagine something, you're just hoping that for it to come into pass. And our brains are made up of two parts. That's the remembrance part and the imagination part. We remember the past and we imagine the things of the future. And most of us, we are caught up in the remembrance part, that we miss out on the imagination part. Like you keep on remembering what happened to you in the past. Maybe it was good, maybe it was bad. You just keep reminiscing on whatever happened. And now whenever you're just caught up in remembering the things of the past, it's hard for you to now imagine of the things of the future. Yet in this life, it's more advisable if you can be more on the imagination part and less of the remembrance part, because sometimes whatever we remember, it's things that keep on taunting us and haunting us, things that we cannot change, things that cannot help us. But whenever we're imagining, these are things that keep us hopeful, and they help us to now set goals, to focus on the future. But whenever we allow our past to keep taunting and haunting us, we limit ourselves from receiving from the future. If you keep on holding on to what has happened, you limit yourself from accepting whatever is yet to come. And the only way to overcome what's in the past is by opening up our brains to the imagination of what is ahead of us. Open your brains to what is ahead of you. Close it to what is behind you. Close those doors. Whatever happened, whatever crashed, and now it's time for you to behold whatever is yet to come. And remembering what is in your past will only keep you in a stagnant position. But whenever you're imagining of the future, it keeps you in a flow of a new dimension. But whenever you keep on remembering your past, you find that you are in the same position you were in 10 years ago, you're in the same position you were in 15 years ago. But the minute you're imagining of the future, you're in a flow of new things happening. You're allowing yourself to receive more than to hold yourself back. And sometimes we are afraid of what is before us because it's unknown to us. We hold on to what is in the past because it's known to us. It feels like it's normal. And we're scared of what is ahead of us because we don't know. We don't know what tomorrow holds. Sometimes we're just afraid. We are afraid of failing. We're afraid of whatever will happen tomorrow, that now we keep on holding on to whatever has happened in the past. But if we get our minds into a constant move of the imagination, it gets easier and easier. If you constantly imagine of the future, it becomes easier for you. But if you constantly remember of the past, it's hard for you to now imagine of the future. Our imagination is who we are and who we are yet to become. But you know what our past is? Our past is who we were. We cannot change that. Whoever you were yesterday, you cannot change that. But who you imagine yourself to be, that's something you can create, that's something you can change. And why should you constantly live like who you were yesterday, yet you can become a whole new person? You know, we keep on living like, oh, with the mistakes that we made yesterday, yet today we can just be totally different people. You can decide to no longer be that person you were yesterday. You can decide to be a totally different person, a better version of yourself. But the minute you continue holding on to your past, you are limiting yourself to who you can become, you know, and who you are is only a limitation. Who you are is only a limitation. There's nothing you can change about who you are, but there's everything that you can change about who you want to become. You should not allow who you were to intimidate who you are. Whatever you did, you know, you cannot change that. So you should not allow it to intimidate you in the sense that now you're afraid of becoming a whole new version of you because of what people said or what people thought of you when you were that old version of yourself. You can wake up and you can decide, okay, you know what, today I've decided to become a better woman. Today I've decided to become a better man. Today I've decided to be more hardworking. Today I've decided to chase my dreams. Maybe that's not who you were yesterday, but today you have the option to decide, okay, today I want to become better. Today I want to achieve this and that. Today I want to set new goals, you know. Our imagination is an opening into a new and a better dimension. In our imaginations, there are no impossibilities. Whenever you're imagining things, there are no impossibilities to who you can become, to what you can achieve. You know, so whenever you're imagining things, don't even set limitations. Okay? Whatever you imagine is possible as long as you believe. As long as you believe that it can happen, it can happen. And you can believe yourself out of any situation. You can believe yourself out of poverty. You can believe yourself out of an illness. You can believe yourself out of any situation. That's why we have those people who are really successful. And do you know why they're successful? It's because they believed in themselves, and they also opened themselves to imagining. You know, you've ever heard of someone who was really poor and then now they're just billionaires, you know, because they did not allow the circumstance of what was happening around them to decide who they were gonna become. And if you cannot imagine if you cannot imagine it, the kind of life you want, if you cannot imagine it, then you can't have it. But if you can imagine it, you can have it. As long as you can imagine it, you can always have it. And to reassess your imagination, it means you can go back to the drawing board and think of yourself and of your life in a whole new way. Maybe you've been imagining of yourself in a very limited kind of way, but you can go back to the drawing board and you can restructure your whole life and decide, you know what, maybe this and this is not really what I want, and I want something bigger. So you can go back to the drawing board and decide, okay, how should I go about this? How should I change this and that, you know? And this will help you to remove all the limitations you've set for yourselves and the barriers you've set for yourself. And now you can become bigger and you can become better. Re-strategize your whole life. Come up with a whole new version of yourself. Come up with a whole new version of who you want to be. Recreate yourself in your imagination. Decide, you know what? Maybe I want to be a boss. You know, maybe kitambo you used to see yourself as someone who will always be employed, but maybe it's time that you start thinking of yourself, how about if I can become a boss? How about if I can own my own company? How about if I can start my own business, you know? And expand your thinking by believing there's nothing you cannot be able to do. There's nothing you cannot be able to do. If you decide to do it, you can be able to do it. Most people won't even believe in you, but in the first place, people will be like, oh, huyu hatumwamini, we don't believe in you enough. But you have to choose to believe in yourself. Clap for yourself. Those little achievements, clap for yourself. Don't expect for people to be there with you like, yes, you can do this, you can do this. Most people will just be watching kwa background ile wako like, let's just wait and see what happens. But you've got yourself. You got to believe in yourself, even if nobody is clapping for you, even if nobody is pushing you, even if nobody is supporting you. You have to support yourself. You have to push yourself. And don't stop until you see the things you want manifesting in your life. If whatever you want is not yet manifesting in your life, you have to press on. Don't just sit and be like, oh, self-pity, oh, maybe this goal was too high for me. No, there's no time to think that it was too high for me. You cannot set something and just quit. No, push yourself until you see it manifesting in your own life. Practice the words of affirmation. Tell yourself that it is possible. Tell yourself, if it's a car you want, each day you wake up, consider yourself a car owner. Each day you wake up, consider yourself a mansion owner. Tell yourself those good things, those big things. But the minute that you keep doubting yourself, you're closing those doors of possibilities in your life. And in order for you to manifest whatever you imagine, you have to work by the Spirit. Working by the Spirit, it means that you cannot work by what you see, you cannot work by what you feel, you cannot work by what you hear, because those things we see, we feel, and we hear are limitations, because sometimes the numbers don't add up. Maybe you need a lot of cash, and when you look at your bank account, it says 0. So if you work by what you're seeing in your account, it will limit you to what you want to achieve. But if you work by the Spirit, by what you don't see, you will be able to go so far, because you'll be believing that, you know what, I need this and this amount, I'm gonna get it. But the minute now you start looking at the numbers, you start looking at what other people are saying, you'll be scared, you'll freak out, and you won't be able to go for whatever you want. Our minds, these minds that we were given by God, are magnets. They attract. Whatever you think about is whatever you attract. Whatever you imagine is whatever you attract. If you imagine yourself as someone who's small, that's what you attract in your life. If you imagine yourself as someone who's big, that's what you attract in your life. If you imagine yourself as this and that, that's what you attract. So who we are even today is what we've attracted. Who I am today is an attraction of what I've imagined myself yesterday, So it's better if you imagine yourself as a bigger person, so that when it comes to time to it being manifested, you can manifest good and better things. But the minute you're there self-pitying yourself, kwetu watu wasumangi, kwetu nobody has ever graduated, kwetu this and that, you'll always manifest those things. That's why generational curses keep on repeating themselves, because you set those limitations because of whatever you see and whatever you hear and whatever you feel. Whatever is around you is what you allow to describe you. Whatever is around you should never describe you. It should never. Whatever has happened in your family should never describe who you are and who you're going to become. You should not allow those things to limit you. You should go beyond it. Go beyond it. Trust in the Lord, and mostly trust in God. Whatever you imagine, trust the Lord to help you bring it into accomplishment. Because the Bible says that we make plans. We human beings, we make plans, but it's the Lord who brings them into accomplishment. So the minute you trust in the Lord, He'll be able to help you to bring those things that you want into accomplishment. He'll be able to help you manifest whatever it is you want, even if it seems impossible to Him. There's nothing that is impossible. It's a matter of just trusting Him and telling Him, you know what, God, this and this is what I want. Maybe the numbers don't add up. Maybe my education doesn't even add up, but I know you are able to do more than I can be able to even imagine. So trust in yourself and trust in the Lord. Those two go hand in hand. Just believe in yourself and believe in God, and everything will work out for you. Don't limit yourself in your thinking. Don't ever limit yourself in your thinking. Your thinking should be the first place where you flourish. It should be the first place where you see your greatness. It should be the first place where you see accomplishments. Then later they can come and manifest into your life. So don't just settle for less. No, don't settle for less. If say you see the numbers are not adding up, imagine of them adding up in the next few days or few years to come. But don't settle. Don't just be like, oh, even ndo tunakuanga, oh, nimechoka, oh, nini. You know, you just have to press on, and everything will work out for you. Don't settle for less, okay? So yeah, that has been my time today. Thank you for tuning in. Continue to subscribe, to like, to share, and to comment on this channel. I love you all. Thank you.